welcome, my first live stream, and welcome Oxford and the world. I was very quick to answer the call when this slot became available, thinking I'd only have to sing a song or two, but it turns out to be a bit more than that. Oh, how we laughed when the truth was revealed. So I'm going to set off with a song that really started my interest in folk. It's not the first folk song I ever sang, but it was the first song I sang where I got a really positive audience reaction instead of just polite. And it is The Saucy Sailor. Come, me young one, come, me fair one, come listen to me. Can you fancy a poor sailor boy who has just come from sea? Well, you ragged lovin', you dirty lovin', your clothes smell much of tar. So be gone, you saucy sailor lad, so be gone, you Jack Tar. Well, if I'm ragged love and I'm dirty lovin', me clothes smell much of tar, yet I have silver in me pockets, love, and gold in great store. And then when she heard him say so, on her bended knees she fell. I will marry mighty Henry, for I love sailor lads well. Do you think that I am foolish, love? Do you think that I am mad for to marry some poor country girl where no fortune's to be had? I will cross the briny ocean, I will whistle and sing, and since you have refused me offer, love, some other girl shall have the ring. For I am frolicsome and I am easy, good-tempered and free, and I don't give a single pin, me boys, what the world thinks of me. For I am frolicsome and I am easy, good-tempered and free, and I won't give a single pin, me boys, what the world thinks of me.
Got it? Yeah.
Right, oh, I'm getting an incoming call here from Ian Shepherd.
Yes, can you see me?
I can see you, but I don't actually need to see you, I don't think. You need to see me and hear me. Can you hear me and see me? I
can hear you and I can see you.
Then you are a very lucky young man.
I know.
All right, I shall turn you off. I think you can make comments through the chat, but as this is my first time, I'm not really sure. Anyway,
neither am I.
Glad to see you here. Anyway, right. So that was The Saucy Sailor. It's from a Steel Eye Span album, Below the Salt, and my philosophy of life summed up in one line, the final line. And I started singing, I don't know, about 25 years ago, when I happened upon the Oxford folk scene, having not had any contact with folk music for a few decades before that. And I should, at this point, if I would really like to thank Ian Giles, who took an early interest in what I was doing in Oxford. And if you're listening, Ian, there's a song about trains coming up. And for my next one, I think I'll go for a request. I have several requests, and this one's from Mick Phillips, a much missed friend of many in the Oxford folk scene, who's now languishing in sunny California. The song is an import from New Zealand, which I first heard sung by Claire Lloyd, and picked up myself from Moira Craig. I've changed a few of the words, but I haven't yet found a good way to change the joke about the Buzz Bar, which is a chocolate bar from down under, but it's unknown here. Let me know if you have any good ideas for fully naturalising this excellent song. It's the chocolate song, by the way. And I need to remember the first line. Oh, why won't it come? Oh, silly me. When you're tired and depressed and feeling lonely, when you check books in the red and you feel blue, when you've left the freezer open or the dishwasher is broken, or you've dropped the toilet paper down the loo, when you want to lie in front of speeding freight trains, or to sniff at the exhaust pipe of your car, or to farewell all your friends and take a nap inside the oven. Stop. Salvation's just a suck from where you are. When you're feeling down, the best way up is chocolate. It's the answer that will get you through the day. Let me get my teeth around something small and square and brown, and I'll masticate until I feel okay. Now when God had finished making all the heavens, and the mountains and the valleys and the streams, and the weather and the weevils, and the squid and German measles, and the gherkins and the cocoa and all the fleas, on the seventh day, when she was sitting resting, she was feeling in a very chipper mood. Then came her greatest inspiration for one last divine creation, something fit to feed a god that could be chewed. When you're feeling down, the best way up is chocolate. It's the answer that will get you through the day. Let me get my teeth around something small and square and brown, and I'll masticate until I feel okay. Now you can never have a bad trip eating chocolate, and it's tastier than sex and much more fun. You can keep your dope and glue and your gin and whiskey too. There's no buzz like a chocolate Buzz Bar, none. So if you really, really love me, give me chocolate. Give me chocolate till it's coming out my ears. All I crave is just enough so I can passionately stuff myself for years and years and years and years and years. When you're feeling down, the best way up is chocolate. It's the answer that will get you through the day. Let me get my teeth around something small and square and brown, and I'll masticate until I feel okay. Very amusing. Anyway, I'm going to accompany myself on this next one, for which I'll grab my concertina. When I started singing around Oxford, there were so many good guitarists around that I decided I wasn't going to take up the guitar. So I wanted something a bit different, thinking that I wouldn't have to be nearly so competent in order to seem reasonable. And I think maybe that strategy has worked out, at least to some extent. So this is the first song I learned on the concertina, and it's about the loss, excuse me, I've got a bit of a frog, the loss of the Franklin expedition to locate the Northwest Passage in 1845. The story is told, though, from the point of view of Lady Franklin, who clearly missed her husband, and organised what became the most expensive set of search and rescue operations in maritime history. So it's really a song about love and loss as much as it is about the expedition. homeward bound one night on the deep, swinging in my hammock I fell asleep. I dreamed a dream and I thought it true, concerning Franklin and his gallant crew. I dreamed I knew the English shore, I heard the lady lament and deplore. She wept so hard and I heard her say, alas, my Franklin is so long away. With 100 sailors he sailed away to the frozen ocean in the month of May, to seek a passage around the pole, where we poor sailors do sometimes go. Through cruel hardships his men did go, his ship on mountains of ice was thrown, where the Eskimo in his skin canoe was the only one that ever came through. Now in Baffin's Bay, where the whalefish blow, the fate of Franklin no man do know. The fate of Franklin no tongue can tell. Lord Franklin with his sailors do dwell. And now my burden it brings me pain, for my long lost Franklin I would cross the main. £10,000 would I freely give to know on earth that my Franklin do live. 'Twas homeward bound one night on the deep, sleeping in my hammock I fell asleep. I dreamed a dream and I thought it true, concerning Franklin and his gallant crew. Lord Franklin, and a nearly perfect folk song as far as I'm concerned. Now I was trying to find some comments from people. Oh yeah, I got some. You're cheering me up. Oh, thank you very much. Excellent. And hello Jane and Don and Althea. I can't see myself though, so I don't know what's happened. So I'm hoping you're getting a good picture, and I'm in the middle of the frame. I've no idea currently. So for this next song, I'm going to shift from the Northwest Passage to the industrial northwest of England, to Lancashire, where I grew up. And this is a song from Stanley Accrington, noted songwriter, performer and wit, about the lost railway lines of southeast Lancashire. What's not so well known about Stanley is that he was the last ever station master at Rochdale. And growing up, Rochdale Station was my steam-driven portal to the world, by which I mean Manchester. Fabled city of electronics shops and war surplus valve equipment. It was heaven to a young lad. Anyway, this one is a request from Jack Evans, who a few years ago blew into Oxford much like a whirlwind and has brought massive amounts of energy and enthusiasm into every area of music he's involved in, which actually might be all the areas that exist, I'm not sure. Pretty close. One of the things he did I was really pleased to see was he brought back the sing-around format, which had been missing from the Oxford scene for years. And he's actually been thrillingly successful in creating a thriving group of young singers. It's been a real pleasure to watch it happen. Anyway, this was his request, and it's Last Train from Bacup. I can close my eyes sometimes and still smell the smoke, as old Fred the porter slams doors. There's a glance at the clock, a nod to the guard, and the train is in motion once more. In the Rossendale Valley on a sultry warm day, the clanking of wheels echoes on. But it's all in my mind. When I wake up I find the last train from Bacup has gone. I can stand in the car park remembering old tales of a station that's long since pulled down, of fly shunting wagons and when they ran off the rails, ending up in the middle of town. Now the juggernauts carry what's left of the trade, with cotton bales piled high upon. But where I worked with me mates is now a housing estate, and the last train from Royton has gone. At 3 in the morning, when I used to sign on, I lie awake half in a dream. I'm a guard on a special bound for the coast, with a 460 getting up steam. We've packages for printers and pigeons to release, spare seats after Haywood, not one. But now they jump on a plane for a fortnight in Spain, and the last train to Fleetwood has gone. At Measurement's Halt the track has been lifted, and the platform is all overgrown. There's willow and scrub where the Delft donkey ran. The valley has claimed back its own. In the Saddleworth Hills, on a crisp autumn day, a plume of smoke still lingers on. But I'm dreaming out loud, for it's only a cloud, and the last train from Dobcross has gone. In the Rossendale Valley on a sultry warm day, the clanking of wheels echoes on. But it's all in my mind. When I wake up I find the last train from Bacup has gone, and the last train from Royton, and the last train to Fleetwood, and the last train from Dobcross has gone. Lovely song, very nostalgic for somebody who spent his youth on those lines of southeast Lancashire. And for this one, it's another request, and I'm going to stay with the location, Lancashire, and this is going to be my only poem for today. It's from the pen of Harvey Kershaw, who I should alert you to his being a Lancashire dialect poet. So there might be a few unfamiliar words in this to some of you not from the region. I will point out one which fools almost everybody: bug blinding. It means to whitewash your walls. And it's a request from Mick Phillips again, who sent his requests to me in the form of picture puzzles. For this one, he simply sent a photo of his clogs. As soon as I were out enough to toddle on my own dark clough, they made me wear, 'cause loam were rough, some clogs. When, later on, I went to school, 'cause my mother made me go, with temper I punch noses through with clogs. Schoolmaster they had just then, off gimme it stick, but more so when he saw that I'd forgot to clean me clogs. Like all young lads, I loved a lark. I liked to make clog iron spark. I cracked for doing it in dark. Me father went off at deep end. When he fun hurt, he made me bend. Then I learned what power a foot could lend to clogs. If bigger lads from top at Brew tried to bash me up way for school, one thing had always pulled me through, me clogs. For school, I went 8th time at mill, a skip with bobbins I had to fill. For first week's wages, just just paid for new clogs. At 18 I was courting strong, but sad to say it didn't last long. For I says when I asked her what were wrong, it's the clogs. Oh, that hurts a mitch. I welly cried, and after tea to bed I parked. But I found a lass who says I likes me clogs. We were married in June at following year. Though church were crommed, you couldna stir. That's the only time I didn't wear me clogs. I'm older now, be 50 year, but let them as want have shoon to wear. I'll be old-fashioned and prefer me clogs. Shoon? Nip your feet just like a vice. I've had some, it's none so nice. If you had to, take my advice, try clogs. If you can get in a job like shifting, sonding, or bug blinding your upstairs landing, you'll need a gradely understanding. Try clogs. Two things you'll find broke Lancashire fame, and one is cotton and cotton frame. As for t'other, well, there's no but one name. Clogs. C-L-O-G-S. Clogs. Silly gets on. So, Harvey Kershaw, one of many Rochdale-based Lancashire dialect poets. And that poem ended with a long and happy marriage. With this next song, you might get the feeling it's the opening chapter of something similar. It's from the pen of Chris Sugden, who more usually writes under the name of his alter ego, Sid Kipper. As you might guess, the song has some humour throughout, but it's also surprisingly poignant, as it's about a new relationship, maybe a couple who are getting on in life. And this is a firm favourite with many, but this request is specifically today for Benita Glanville Morris and Sarah Knowles. It's called Confidence. More often it's known as I Can't Believe You Like Me. Line again. Oh, how silly of me. Can you detect the panic? We'll try and overcome the panic, and I'll just quickly remind myself of the first line. I'm sorry about this. Confidence. How could I forget that one? It being so true. I can't believe you like me. I've got a double chin. I don't know how much longer I can hold my stomach in. My clothes are not in fashion, as anyone can see. So why do you come over and sit down next to me? I can't believe you like me, or I'm really just a mess. You say you're the same age as me, but you look 5 years less. You're witty and you're charming, and clearly not unwise. So why do you keep gazing and staring in my eyes? I can't believe you like me, or I've had a drop to drink. I'm smoking like a chimney, and you don't smoke, I think. And if you said goodbye and left me, I would surely understand. So why are we two walking back to your place, hand in hand? I can't believe you like me, or it's such a tidy flat. I'm making conversation, but I'm talking through me hat. And in this brighter light, you can confirm all your doubts. Why are you suggesting that we miss the coffee out? touching, the night has flown somehow. I can't believe you like me, so how can it be true? You just whispered that you can't believe that I like you. That still amuses me, that one. Time for a rousing sea shanty. I do like maritime songs. Absolutely love them. And for a few months in 1967, I was a Norwegian sailor, believe it or not, even though I find it difficult to believe. And my encounters with a mid-Atlantic hurricane and with a bunch of very hardened sailors taught me a lot about life, and lessons that are not readily available in books. So this shanty concerns the voyage home of a whaler, likely to California from the Kamchatka Sea, by way of the Hawaiian Islands and Maui in particular. Your microphones are not enabled, so you're going to have to shout the choruses very loud indeed to give me any chance of hearing you, but I hope that that's what you're doing. So, pin back your lugholes. This is Rolling Down to Old Maui. It's a damn tough life of toil and strife we whalermen undergo, and we won't give a damn when the gale is done how hard them winds did blow. For we're homeward bound, what a grand old sound on a good ship, taut and free. And we won't give a damn when we drink our rum with the girls of old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, my boy, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic round, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with a favourable gale through the ice and sleet and rain, and them coconut fronds of them foreign lands we soon shall see again. 6 hellish months we have passed away in the cold Kamchatka Sea, but now we're bound from the Arctic round, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic round, rolling down to old Maui. We'll heave the lead where old Diamond Head looms up on old Wahoo. Our masts and yards are sheathed in ice, and our decks are hid from view. But now the horrid tiles of the sea-cut ice that deck the Arctic seas are leagues behind in the icy wind since we steered for old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, my boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic round, rolling down to old Maui. How warm the breeze from the tropic seas, now the ice is far astern, and them island maids in the tropical glades are awaiting our return. Even now the soft brown eyes look out, hoping one fine day to see our billowing sails running for the gales, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic round, rolling down to old Maui. And now we're anchored in the bay with the Kanakas all around, with chants and soft aloha-ohs, they welcome us homeward bound. And now ashore we'll have good fun, we'll paint them beaches red, and awaken in the arms of a Wahine maid with a big fat aching head. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui, rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui. Oh, that certainly clears the tubes out. Something, no, not a contrast. We'll carry on with the same. We've escaped the frozen Kamchatka Sea, but we've got our own freezing weather at the moment, including thunder snow. New word on me, but we've got it coming apparently. This is a song by an American who characterises himself as a hobo labourer with a wishful literary yearning. He worked in the forests of northwest America as a logger. Became self-educated through public libraries, which he called the poor man's universities. And this gave rise to this humorous ditty, the story of the frozen logger. As I sat down one evening within a small cafe, a 40-year-old waitress to me these words did say, "Oh, I see that you are a logger, and not just some common bum, 'cause no one but a logger stirs his coffee with his thumb. Oh, my lover, he was a logger, there's none like him today. If you poured whiskey on it, he would eat a bale of hay. And he never shaved his whiskers from off of his horny hide. He just drove them in with a hammer and chewed them off inside. Oh, my lover, he came to see me, 'twas on one frozen day. He held me in his fond embrace and broke 3 vertebrae. Oh, he kissed me when we parted, so hard that he broke my jaw, and I could not speak to tell him he'd forgot his mackinaw. So I watched my lover leaving, sauntering through the snow, going gaily homeward at 48 below. Well, the weather tried to freeze him, it did its level best. At 100 degrees below zero, he just buttoned up his vest. Well, it froze clear through to China, it froze to the stars above. At 1000 degrees below zero, well, it froze my logger love. And so I lost my lover, to this cafe I did come, and here I'll wait till someone stirs his coffee with his thumb. I hope she found him. Right, I might need a prompt for this one. Where is it? I want to forget the first line. So we haven't entirely escaped snow. It gets mentioned in this song, but it's not really about snow at all. It's about the English countryside and enjoying it, sometimes on your own. And this is a request Who was this one from? Was this Alex? Yeah, it was Alex Bowman. And song by Graham Miles. And it's called Where Ravens Feed. I roam and ramble in lonely places, all in the coolness of the rain, over rolling hills and rugged mountains, over sandy heath and grassy plain. And should you ask, am I contented? I'd answer yes, oh yes indeed. For my love it is for lonely places, where springs leap down, where ravens feed. I seek and find these lonely places, where bounds the hare and deer run, over crags of grey and mossy boulders, shaded from the morning sun. And should you ask, am I at ease there? I'd answer yes, oh yes indeed. For my heart it dwells in lonely places, where springs leap down, where ravens feed. I yearn and long for lonely places, where hunts the fox and badgers play, where midnight stars are at their brightest, where snow lies deep, where mists hang grey. And should you ask, am I at home there? I'd answer yes, oh yes indeed. For my desires are for lonely places, where springs leap down, where ravens feed. I lose myself in lonely places, on heathered moor and bracken fell, and with the wind hold conversation. It always has so much to tell. And should you ask, am I at ease there? I'd answer yes, oh yes indeed. For I'll always need these lonely places, where springs leap down, where ravens feed. Where springs leap down, where ravens feed. Graham Miles, fabulous songwriter. Now what do I want to do next? Gosh, time's getting on. I'm not going to get through everything I wanted to do. I'm going to miss this one out, because it might mean tuning up my gazooki, because I didn't get a chance to do it before. Oh, one I've got to do. Another rousing chorus. So this is about the Battle of Trafalgar and the death of Nelson. And I put this up many years ago on YouTube, and it was picked up by a media producer and used as part of a soundscape, which you can still hear if you go to the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich and go to see the famous Turner painting of the Battle of Trafalgar. There's me singing as part of the soundscape. Nelson Nelson was reputed to be of small stature, but in fact he was perfectly ordinary size for his age, the age he lived in, I mean, at 5'6". However, his statue is 17'4". That's a ratio of about 3 to 1. And this song celebrating the victory at Trafalgar, it might all come about again from January the 1st. We've got to rule the seas again, and I think we're allowed to invade Europe again next year, so let's see what happens. Rousing chorus, so join in loudly please. On the 21st of October, before the rising sun, we formed a line for action, boys, at 12 o'clock begun. Brave Nelson to his men did say, the Lord shall prosper us this day. Give them the broadside, fire away on board a man of war. Let him die in peace. God bless you all on board a man of war. Let him die in peace. God bless you all on board a man of war. From broadside to broadside the cannonballs did fly. Like hailstones the small shot around the decks did lie. Our mast and rigging were shot away. Besides, some thousands on that day were killed and wounded in the fray on board a man of war. Let him die in peace. God bless you all on board a man of war. Let him die in peace. God bless you all on board a man of war. May heaven reward Lord Nelson, likewise protect his men. 19 sails of the combined fleet were sunk and taken in. The Achille blew up amongst them all, which made the French for mercy call. Nelson was slain by a musket ball on board a man of war. Let him die in peace. God bless you all on board a man of war. Let him die in peace. God bless you all on board a man of war. There's many a brave commander with grief he shook his head, but yet the grief had no relief, for Nelson he lay dead. It was a fatal musket ball that caused a hero for to fall. He said, fight on, God bless you all on board a man of war. Let him die in peace. God bless you all on board a man of war. Let him die in peace. God bless you all on board a man of war. Let's hope this glorious battle will surely bring a peace. Another trade to England will flourish and increase. Our ships from port to port go free and turn the hearts of our enemy to Nelson's death and victory on board a man of war. Let him die in peace. God bless you all on board a man of war. Let him die in peace. God bless you all on board a man of war. My screen just went blank there. I hope it didn't signify anything, like my battery running out. Right, how are we doing for time? Gosh, didn't it go quick when you're enjoying yourself? I think I might have time for one more song and then the play-out piece I'd imagined. So I'm going to grab my concertina again for this one. It's only fitting because the song is On My Little Concertina by Jim Garrett, who used to run the Loughton Folk Club. And it might be the only song to contain the word hypophrygian. Tell me if you know better. Now when I was a little boy and at my father's knee, he gave me such a wondrous toy, it filled my heart with glee. With buttons at each end of it and bellows in between, my father taught me how to play, and when I was 16, I played Rule, Britannia, and Love's Anglaise Cleaner, while fingering the buttons and squeezing the box on my little concertina, while fingering the buttons and squeezing the box on my little concertina. I met a pretty little girl, she lived just down our road. Her concertina she would play in hypophrygian mode. The little devil. She taught me third inversion and positions 1 to 6. She taught me each progression as she squeezed a box of tricks. She played Wolfgang, Mozart, Amadeus Ex Machina, while fingering the buttons and squeezing the box on a little concertina, while fingering the buttons and squeezing the box on a little concertina. The wedding march was on her mind, and this soon led to strife. I told her I was not inclined to play duets for life. Her passions roused, she flew at me, then on the floor she sprawled. She fractured her cadenza, and straightway with 1 A chord she tried. I'll tell my ma to send me a subpoena for fingering the buttons and squeezing the box on a little concertina, for fingering the buttons and squeezing the box on a little concertina. Now when I came before the bench, the judge said this won't do. You cannot finger instruments that won't belong to you. I said, my lord, now don't be harsh. She's played this tune before. She learned the obligato from the organist next door. They played Roll Me Over, so excuse my misdemeanor, for fingering the buttons and squeezing the box on a little concertina, for fingering the buttons and squeezing the box on a little concertina. The judge, he was a kindly bloke and let me off scot-free. So now I'm playing folk and blues as happy as can be. So if you own an instrument, don't keep it on the shelf. Be proud to give performances and finger it yourself. Just play twang-dee-dillo, you'll find there's nothing keener than fingering the buttons and squeezing the box in your little concertina, than fingering the buttons and squeezing the box in your little concertina. Right, so I shall move to my last song, which has to be The Sailor's Farewell. Partly because just theme is farewell, but Jack Evans has unofficially adopted this as a favoured way to close his sing-around sessions in Oxford, and it's one of my favourites too. And I put this up on YouTube some years ago, and a few weeks ago it passed 250,000 views. No, I don't understand it either, so there's no use asking me how it's done. But this is also known as the farewell shanty, Padstow leaving shanty, sailor's farewell, whatever. And this is my version of it. I've been asked for permission to use this, the video of this, by lots of funeral directors. Obviously it works well for maritime funerals. come sail upon her. Haul away your halyards, haul away your halyards. 'Tis our sailing time. Get her on her course now. Haul away your foresheet, haul away your foresheet. 'Tis our sailing time. Waves are surging under. Haul away down channel, haul away down channel. On the evening tide. When my days are over, haul away for heaven, haul away for heaven. God be by my side, God be by my side. Gosh, oh, and now I've got a few minutes left. But I can't do one after that, can I? Oh, I know what I can do then. I shall play out with this piece of nonsense. I mentioned going round the electronics shops of Manchester when I was a kid. I'm still into it and I'm teaching my kids electronics. Here's one of my bits of nonsense. I picked up in a sale in California years ago. It's Santa's Marching Army, and this is so far unmodified, but it's going to be MIDI controlled fairly soon. I can't check whether you can see it properly because I can't find my video. Where am I? Never mind, I'll assume you can see it. I'll put it on my knee. Right, that's the end from me. I'll play out with some Christmas carols. Enough of that nonsense. Thank you very much for joining me. I've enjoyed myself, and yeah, I might even think of doing it again one day. I just need to